doing my sketchbook tour. This is the sketchbook that I finished before the one I decorated last time. And it will also have a lot of sketches that end up turning into full finished pieces, which I'll be showing you throughout the video. So, let's get started. To begin, we've got some acrylic paint markers, fish. Gray had recently gotten some new ones, so I wanted to try those out. Then we have a personification of dog here. This is a more human version. Normally they're him and God are more creature versions. I'll explain more about those two later on in a different video, but for now, just know that this is God or dog. Then we got this deer guy. And we got more personified God and dog. This one being God, this one being dog. This is kind of where I decided I wanted to start making a humanoid version for them so that I could draw them more often and have them almost as sonas. And on the next page, we have a little bit of me. And then following that, we have a square, some kitty cat here, and a little body. We got some more people practice, as well as another kitty cat up here. Normally when it's a kitty cat, I'm drawing my cat Camille. And we got some more people practice over here. We got a demon or tiefling and a unicorn guy, as well as this house. I really like how this house turned out. It turned out very nice. Next page, we have a pose practice off of a Pinterest photo, which I can share that here. Yeah. As well as some more pose practices afterwards. And here's me once again playing around with those acrylic paint markers, because they're very fun. They're not always the easiest layering wise, just because I think in thinner layers than the paint markers work, but you know, what do you do? Here's that same unicorn guy from before. I think I might make him into a character or something. I'm not sure. I've drawn him before, and he has a boyfriend in kind of the very loose lore that I have about him. But, yeah, maybe I'll draw him more. Here's a bunch of me's. These two are me. This is me with blorbos that I like, and some birds. And this is kind of what a typical sketchbook page looks like for me. A lot of the time it's just kind of whatever is going on in my head at the moment, and so I end up with a lot of stuff just kind of filling the screen, or not the screen, the page. And these are not paint markers, these are actually highlighters, I believe, or just regular markers from IKEA. And next we have a sketch for a finished piece that I ended up doing, which I can show here. And this was just kind of a color study, as well as I wanted to try a couple variations of said piece, just because I wanted to try out different ways it could look. I didn't like this one too much. Like, I like how it turned out, but I wasn't the happiest with it, so that's why I didn't go with it in the end. And we got another character page. As well as some more, them being gay. You know, what do you do? Our first spot of Will Wood. I really like that guy, so you'll see him a lot in the sketchbook, actually. And a little critter, which I kind of like, so maybe I'll make something out of that eventually. We got some thumbnails here and here, which I tend to do this a lot. I don't really normally have an actual plan for it, but it's mostly just like practicing what thumbnails could look like for me. And I really like how this fairy turned out. It kind of reminds me of the fairies from Webkins. And then here is the planning and sketching of an actual piece that I ended up doing, which I'll show you the sketch for in a moment, and then I'll show you the final piece in a moment. And this is this ringleader character that I really ended up having fun with. And we got some god personified, just kind of hanging out and doing different stuff. I like this one of him eating. And here's that sketch I was telling you about. This is a piece that I ended up finishing, which I can show you here. That is a ringleader for a circus that I ended up doing for a show. I had a lot of fun with him, and you'll see him more often in the continuation of this sketchbook. So I think I'm going to continue playing around with this character. Not sure yet. Then we have a blank page. And playing around with some clown heads, just because I wanted to draw something else for this circus show, but I wasn't sure quite yet what I wanted to do. Then we got a bunch of different stuff. I'm not sure what this turned into. I don't think it turned into anything. We got my Ricky Rainfrog bag, which is a Jellycat bag that Gray got me a couple years ago, which I really enjoy. Yeah. And on this page, we've got some more thumbnails I never ended up using. This down here I did further explore, which we'll see in a second. And here they are. See, so I've been having issues with my eyes, and I ended up having to get surgery twice. Well, I got it twice because they do one eye at a time. And so I've been kind of just dealing with the aftermath of not being able to see and having a hard time understanding where my vision's going to be in the future. So I've been kind of playing around with a lot of different motifs of that. And this is where we start getting into our cowboys. Was for the next show. I ended up deciding I was going to do cowboys for it, so you'll see a lot of cowboy sketches. And then continuing on, some cowboys and some horses. Very loose, just still kind of in that sketching phase of what I wanted to do for the composition of these next few pieces. Once again, more cowboys and horses. I like to call these haunces because they're very loose and they're very messy. Like, you get the vague idea that it's a horse, but it's not quite one. So it's like, a haunce. And here's some character studies. This is supposed to be Arthur Lester from the podcast Malevolent, which I need to finish. It's a very good podcast so far, and I've seen very good things about the ending. And this is that ringleader character, which ended up turning into another full piece, which I can show here. This one here in particular did. And I really like playing with his elongated body. Once again, more ringleader stuff. Playing again with like what I wanted him to look like. And then we got some clowns. Like I said, I wanted to do one more piece at this point, but I hadn't done the last piece I just showed you yet. So I was like, what should I do next? And so I was playing around with the idea of maybe a clown, which I really like how this thumbnail turned out. That one turned out really nice. And I tried putting that into a full piece, but it turned out a little bit more menacing than I wanted it to be. It didn't have that quite friendliness that I wanted in this clown, so I ended up not going with this guy. And on this page, we got some start of some unicorns, because the show after the one with the cowboys is mystical, so I've been doing unicorns. And just some more unicorns and horses. And then here was the start of a planning of the piece that we saw in my first video, the big pink piece, which I will show again here in a second. And I wanted to take this thumbnail, and I ended up taking it and turning it into this sketch here, which then turned into this painting, which I'll put up on the screen now. So I really like how these kind of turned out. And we got another kind of sporadic page of just whatever was going on in my head at the time. And more cowboys. This is me with Arthur Morgan because I really love Arthur Morgan. He's a special little guy to me. Yeah. And another chaotic page. We got some cat. We got a clown. We got eyes. We got a tree. Double tree, maybe. I don't know. And some more body poses with the IKEA markers that kind of look like highlighters. And this little critter. As well as this guy. Check out that guy. He's crazy. Another horse. Some more God. And then up here, I was doing some mock-ups for a proof of authentication kind of situation for my original pieces. I wanted something special to add to the back of it just so I could have like that, oh, congrats, you bought an original work. So these were the sketches for it. We got some more just body poses. Got purple guy, I guess. More horses, or Hanses, as I've written here. Yeah, once again, it's just kind of like it's a horse that's not quite a horse. I mean, it looks like a horse, but it's missing something, I feel. We got a chicken, and a body, and a little bird down there. And we got more Will Wood. This is from his normal album. It's actually a mashup of a bunch of different poses for the cover, which I can show you here. And I really liked it, so I was like, yeah, I want to draw that, or at least sketch it. And some more just random stuff. We got a clown, we got some mouths, we got an apple, looks like, a little duck. And this is a sketch I actually filmed, but didn't end up using it for anything. It was just kind of showing you what I do as a sketch. And so that's what where this one came from. And some more playing around with markers. We got dog, and we got God, and we got this guy here. I don't know what his name is. Maybe Jerry. Who knows? More cowboy stuff. This is my coffee mug of the day. I know what coffee mug this is, actually. It's the one I'm using now. It's a Campbell's soup mug. We got me sitting there. Me just hanging out, and some person next to it, I guess. Oh, these were some thumbnails. This is the logo I ended up going with, and this is thumbnails for the intro bumpers that you've been seeing occasionally, because I wanted to have a little overlay on my videos. And, of course, more Camille. Then we got some Baba Yaga. This was originally kind of based off of a piece that I saw on Pinterest, once again, which I could put up on the screen. And I really enjoyed it. I ended up making Baba Yaga piece kind of inspired by it, which I can show next to it. And obviously it's not the same one, just because that would be copying, and we don't do that in this house. But yeah, I really like Baba Yaga houses. I think they're cool. I've made little ones before, like physical ones, so it's nice to be able to draw it and like make stickers of it. Next, we got this jester guy. It's me as a critter that I made some years ago. I can't remember for what, but I've been going through my saves in my Procreate, so I wanted to redraw him, and so I did. This is a cowboy piece that ended up turning into a full piece. This is the one that we framed a couple videos ago. I can put it on the screen here. He's very fun. I like him a lot. And we got more Will Wood. I have a problem with this guy. I really like him. I like him a little bit too much, but that's okay. He's a good artist. I think he's fun. I think he's fun to listen to. And then on the final pages of my sketchbooks, I like to do a self-portrait. I don't know why I started doing that, but it's something that I just kind of do now. And this one says still growing, and it's got me on it. So yeah, that is that sketchbook. I don't know the time frame that I finished it, just because I tend to finish them either really fast or really slow, and I always forget to write when I start them. But thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day. See you later. Bye-bye.